This is the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, beginning at verse 1. And it reads, "Finally, brethren, pray for us that the word of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua may have free course and be glorified even as it is with you." I'm going to reread that in the NLT, and it says, "Finally, dear brothers and sisters, we ask you to pray for us. Pray that the Lord's message will spread rapidly and be honored wherever it goes, just as when it came to you." Because part of the purpose of this ministry, the main purpose is for, we come out and pretty much, preach this word, this message, the good news, that it may fall on the ears of, the elect of Israel. Like the elder always says, we're not seeking all Israel, we're seeking the elect of the nation of Israel. Because, the elect will be that fruit meet for repentance. Everybody is not, just because you're an Israelite doesn't necessarily mean that you are the Israel of the Most High. Verse 2, and that we may be delivered from unreasonable and wicked men, for all men have not faith. Verse 3, but the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is faithful, who shall establish you and keep you from evil. The word evil is a compound word, Eve meaning time, ill meaning bad. And the bad times is pretty much are here. We're living in bad times, Scriptures tell you in the book of Ephesians, redeeming the time, making the most of the time, because the days be evil. And, even before DJ Trump got into office, things were, hard and bad, but, he's significantly increased these things, But I want to go into this word, unreasonable.
G824.
Bluetooth ready for connection.
Strong's G824. Autopos.
And it means out of place, not benefiting, unbecoming, not benefiting. And again, scriptures talk about Esau, Edom being, the border of wickedness. It says improper wicked. Scriptures talk about, as the judge of the city being, so are the people. And he talks about in that same chapter in the book of Ecclesiasticus or Sirach that in due time the Lord is going to put up or set up one that's profitable. As of now, Esau, Edom, is set up to do the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua on the left-hand side, but he's not profitable as far as for the kingdom of heaven. Well, he is to a degree, because when you really have understanding, you understand that the Most High works on the right-hand side and the left-hand side, and basically, but, like when you take the time, like I remember me and the brother was reading, and we was going into like the Old Testament, the book of Kings, and when you look at, you had a lot of wicked kings of Israel, but then you had a few righteous ones, and it seemed like to us that it was more wicked than righteous, and that was all served the purpose. Ultimately, look at where we at now. At the end, we had to fall away. That's the book of 2 Thessalonians. So the wicked one could be revealed. It says unrighteous, inconvenient, harmful. And this man, like the elder said, it talks about in Isaiah chapter 19, the cruel Lord. So, with these decrees that this man is bringing, these executive orders, which like the elder even said, he said, you got a system set up in government where it's supposed to be checks and balances. Well, this man doing shit, you like, well, how is he doing it? And like I said before, okay, you got Congress, like you got a judge that's pretty much talking about he can't do these cuts and he can't do this and he can't freeze the food stuff. But yet still, this judge, the supreme, judicial system will be the Supreme Court. They're not saying shit though. So what's really going on? And ultimately I just think, because you got to remember, you got, some of the most wicked people I come to realize, are pretty much, a part of this government. Like the elder said, a lot of corruption. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure it's righteous people within that. But you ever had when you got like say for instance, you got a group of crooked cops. and then you the one that's trying to be the righteous one. Well, they gonna weed you out. They gonna some kind of way they gonna try to make you uncomfortable to get you to leave, or they gonna try to pretty much put you in a position where you compromise as well. If somebody doing wrong, you know what I mean? Either you gonna be doing wrong with them, or you're not gonna be around them. So ultimately, like I said, then when you look at this system, you know what I mean? I've been in the system, you know, I've been incarcerated. I've talked to actual CEOs and shit. You know, they'll tell you, like, they look at, you know, and see what be going on and be like, oh no, this shit ain't right. You know, I've known, you know, there's one particular CEO, you know, they call them the men in black, and the men in black were the correctional officers that pretty much, when inmates, you got the inmates that like to fight, they got a group of, you know, CEOs that go in there, and them the ones that, you know, beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? They call them the men in black. You know? So them the ones that get off on that physical confrontation. And this is one particular, he's a Northern Kingdom guy. And, you know, the last time I was in there for something stupid, I was always wondering when I was gonna see him. You know, he took his job seriously, he did his job, and he quit. They was like, he quit. You know what I mean? Because he just couldn't deal with the corruption. You know, that place, that's a fucked up place to be in, because you're not treated as you're not treated as a human being. Them people don't give a fuck. So when you I forgot what movie was that, or that might have been the book, The Stand. You know, when you look at The Walking Dead with Rick, you know, he was pretty much in a hospital and left for dead by his best friend. Remember? And then I think that's what happened. I think his best friend left him for dead because he wanted his wife. He wanted his wife back then. And, jealous ass nigga. And, The Stand, I think he was locked up. Some kind of way, the Lord was with him, got him up out of there. But like, you know, don't get me wrong, if the Lord with you, it don't matter your predicament. You gotta remember, when you really have the understanding that the Lord wants to show his power. You know, it's a Salakia for the rambling. So I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushua, Ba'ashim, Kodash, double honors to the elders and to the apostles that taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aqua. I thought they're listening and learning, Lord willingly. This is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Brother Yahweh, coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And, you know, I just came across this article, and, you know, that's what I said, unreasonable men, you know. At the end of the day, you know, when you go into the 14th Amendment, that's part of the Constitution, the constitutional rights are certain rights that pretty much all American citizens are supposed to be provided. That's why you have a freedom of speech. You're supposed to be able to say whatever you feel you want to say. You know, the elders even go into that. That's why you got freedom of religion. So that's why he says, you know, if vocab comes trying to disturb, you know, what you're doing, because he's being unreasonable, that's spiritual right there. You know, I've heard the elders like, you know, Christians are unreasonable, you know. And like he's saying, like, at the end of the day, you asking a question, but then when, you know, when you break down the answer, you know, you got to take into account, well, damn, you know. But the Christians, they don't want to look at it that way, you know. So I get why the elders say what they say. But not to digress, it says Trump says 14th Amendment is for former slaves, not migrants. And when you go into the 14th Amendment, it pretty much talks about how you know, talks about how much pretty much if two illegal people came here, but then they had a child here, that child becomes a citizen just because they was born here. Well, they're trying to say that that's no longer. He's saying that was only for slavery. You know what I mean? It just show you, like, at the end of the day, he's attacking the Constitution, and you got these copper tops and these goofy ass people that's under that heavy enchantment. They gonna believe that shit. You know what I mean? Like, is something gonna happen where he gonna be able to just do what he want to do? They doing too much now. You know. I've listened to the elder. He talk about, you know, on one hand he's supposed to be against, he's supposed to be against the powers that be, and he's supposed to be against, you know, the globalists, but then at the same time, he's then donated one of his first acts. He donates $500 billion to these technocrats. So it's like, and then, brothers in the spirit, they see it, they like, well, but the average Babylonian doesn't, to their detriment. So it says, President DJ Trump said Sunday that the founding fathers are spinning in their graves after his bid to abolish birthright citizenship for the children of parents who are in the U.S. illegally hit another snag. And he really on that because he's going to be able to get away with so much with that. I mean, think about it. Like, when you take time to think about it, him even being able to deport so-called migrants that, you got to think about it. America is a country pretty much made up of immigrants. The actual natives or the people indigenous to the land would be the tribes of Gad and Reuben. To the point where it's so fucked up and messy that you had Native Americans that got caught up in these sweeps and these ice raids and whatnot. And like the elder said, so ultimately, like, where you gonna send these people? Like, you trying to deport, the Native Americans, but they gonna come after all the tribes. And like the elder always say, when you take time to think about it, the Southern Kingdom get it the worst. You had 2/3 niggas laughing at what the Northern Kingdom going through, and Most High's not mocked. So just imagine how it's gonna be when they come after us. Because all they doing is pretty much setting the stage for persecution. And if you ain't with this, you're gonna be deemed, like the one brother said. Ultimately, if you not down with the DEI shit, he pretty much talking about freezing funding. They was just talking about certain states, like my state. I forgot exactly how it's worded, but pretty much he's supposed to be donating too much federal funding for climate change. It's supposed to be like 129 million, and Ohio is one of the states, and he froze it. So pretty much, like the elder said, he's creating loyalists. Governor of Ohio pretty much was mandated by a judge to pretty much go and apply for $900 million in pandemic money because Ohio turned that shit down. So I don't know what exactly DeWine and them go do. You know what I mean? Like, that's the governor here. Like, again, I don't know if they call themselves trying to do a little Texas move or what exactly they got going on. But ultimately, it, like the elder always talk about, it's a lot of division. And that's what's ultimately going to bring Edom's downfall. So it says, President Donald Trump said Sunday that the founding fathers are spinning in their graves after his bid to abolish birthright citizenship for the children of parents who are in the U.S. illegally hit another snag. On Thursday, a fourth federal judge blocked the executive order issued by the president on his first day in the Oval Office, which that's actually like a righteous decree, which I'm going to get real quick. Because, again, these different governments, I mean, like the elder was saying, you got the legislative, which comes up with the laws, and then you got the judicial, the executive branch, which executes the laws. Now, the president has power that pretty much Congress can pretty much try to pass a law, and he can shut that shit down or cut it. But he can't just put new law into place. That's not how it works. So what's really going on here? And that's what I say, like, just this shit that's going on for those, because again, when I went to school, I did pay attention to certain shit. It wasn't until, I got a certain age that I start being a complete nigga, you know what I mean? Like, this is shit, like I was telling a chick, because she got so upset, butthurt that Trump won and Kamala didn't. But I was like, I learned about the electoral college back in like fucking middle school, you know what I mean? Like, so this ain't really deep, you know what I mean? Like, this is standard information. This just show you how dumbed down the people are. So ultimately, like, the president can't just pass new law, but he doing that with these executive orders. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, which is, one these executive orders is unrighteous, especially, like I said again, that was law. That's part of the Constitution. And for him to be able to just do away with that, what the fuck is really going on? And that right grievousness which they have prescribed. I forgot who was speaking on that. They was talking about even Trump ain't got I know the elder made mention of that. He's like, he said this motherfucker has a quill. He said even DJ Trump ain't got a quill, he got a marker. So he just marking the tape. That's significant in itself. Because, a pen is, I don't know even how that would work with a marker, you know what I mean? Like, he said, I'm just blacking out all this shit. When they say redacted, You know, it's being released, but you can't read none of it because it's all markered out. You know what I mean? This man's so full of shit too, because like the elder said, half the shit he said he was gonna do, he ain't did, but some of the shit he said he's gonna do, he gonna do. But that's all for these peons and these, you know, these goofies, you know, the people that really believe in Babylon the Great. But like the elder said, you know, I was watching a video that I think it was the brother from Vegas did. He was going into he did a video, and it was an Edomite soldier. He was like, man, I haven't received my benefits for like a month. And pretty much they talking about this administration problem. He was like, but he cut the funding. So again, he has done that to certain people. Certain people ain't getting food stamps, you know, and the way that this system is like a ghost in the machine. I literally, they cut my shit one time, and I'm like, I did everything that you wanted to comply. So it's like, I don't know, like, in my opinion, speaking as a man, I think they purposely do certain shit. Because like I said, like with one particular thing, like basically I get daycare, and the daycare lady, she tried to keep me up on certain shit, so she let me know. She's like, you got to the end of the month to turn in the paperwork. Well, I did it like the 5th. I faxed it. It was no issue. The fax said it went through. These motherfuckers still cut it, and it wasn't even the end of the month. And, you know, it can't be just a mistake where you say, well, damn, we didn't upload it. No, y'all cut it. So again, people still trusting in Babylon, you're going to be sadly mistaken. The scriptures talk about woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. You got to solely get in the mindset of depending solely, you know, of course you want to believe and trust in and be around like-minded brothers. That's the, you know, scriptures talk about who is my mother, who's my brother, those that do the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But ultimately, you don't know how your lot going to be. I remember a particular brother from Georgia he said it's going to be, before the end of this, it's going to be a lot of disappointment and heartache. You don't think Yahushua was kind of hurt when all he asked was his brothers to stay up with him and they kept on falling asleep? But the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua or Yahweh Abanawa, wanted him to experience that. You know, and the crazy part is he held no ill will to his brothers. You know, but it's just like, I know that hurt. You know what I mean? Because that was his lowest moment. That was that dark moment. And we all gonna have that Garden of Gethsemane moment. You know, this is the second time I'm doing this video, and through the spirit, it felt like a lot better. Like, that's probably why it didn't work the first time. I remember brother said that, you know, we was waiting for a brother that was from out of town. We did the video, and the video, then something happened where it didn't play or something like that. And then the brother from out of town came, and then when we did it, it worked out better. And he was like, yeah, that's why the Lord had it happen like that, because that brother's supposed to join in on it, you know. And certain things do happen like that. Like, I did videos, you know, like, sometimes the Lord just has certain things happen for a reason. Because whatever happens, if it happened, it was the will of the Lord, right? That's why I didn't just go completely apeshit crazy or, oh, this ain't the truth. You know what I mean? Like, if anything, that solidified is the truth. I see a whole bunch of spiritual shit. It came with that, you know? Like, you know, our faith is going to be completely tested. And you know, I just heard the beloved elder make the statement. He said, the elder brother from, you know, from Texas, he said pretty much only the elect is going to have a spirit on them to be able to endure whatever we about to go through right now. And brothers that's really like in the spirit can see, this shit about to be, brothers that experience shit, you know, brothers that actually know stuff. You know, brothers that actually like, this thing ain't no joke, you know. This is not a game, you know. And the Lord know, see, it ain't about what you seeing as a man, because, you know, like I said, the Lord don't look at things like you look at things. The Lord, you know, at the end of the day, the scriptures talk about the Lord having mercy on whom he want to have mercy on, you know. But it's certain, I believe, just speaking as a man, it's going to be certain qualities that the elect going to have. That's why the scriptures talk about pretty much being diligent to make your calling and election sure. You know, that was just spiritual, just because from, you know, just seeing that, you know. That means the spirit's still dealing with Jake, you know. And, you know, I don't wish no brother, you know, look back, you know. This place is, I mean, you know, you believe what I believe, so why would I be rooting for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, but Salakia, verse 2, it says, I'm going to read 1 again. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people. Which, who are the poor of my people? So-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, West Indians, and Haitians. The Most High's true chosen people. You know, so-called, you know, the 12 tribes, you know. We, you know, when you go into it, like, it says that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. You know, think about it. Like, when you even go into the whole social system of welfare, like, brothers and elders bring that up. You know, when you go into that movie Claudine with James Earl Jones, I forgot the lady name, but long story short, you know, they talk about that, like, where he had to pretty much, it was like a comedy / drama, where he had to hide from the people in order for her to receive benefits. Yeah. And you still got that to this day. You know how difficult it is for a married couple to receive benefits? So the point being, though, like, again, these executive orders are unrighteous. And especially, again, being that that's part of the Constitution. But it's an angle he's trying to come with that. Because if he could attack that, and that's part of the Constitution, then the whole Constitution is null and void. These are rights given to American citizens. You get what I'm saying? Like, this ain't something that you trying to suggest now and add to the Constitution. This is part of the Constitution. You know, you said that was only for slaves. But slaves are only considered 3/5 of a man. That's why they getting rid of all the DEI shit. Which is so much more going on besides that little thing. Ultimately, the Lord is exposing this devil for who he is. You know, this is the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Which when you go into that word perdition, is destruction. But the man of sin, the man of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High. You know, I was listening to the elder. He was talking about Elon Musk, which he a demon. Know what's so cold? I was going to do a lesson on it, but I haven't yet. I was listening to the beloved elder from UK. You know, they do them algorithms, the brother from Texas and whatnot. And I heard somebody make a statement about it. I came across the information because I heard individuals make the statement about Elon Musk's mother being a witch and how he this and I found a whole bunch of information. I was like, damn. And that same day when I found that information, that brother brought out the fact of the same information I found. I was like, damn, that's the spirit. The spirit is so undefeated, it's so cold. And that's how we know, that's terrifying. Because the thing is, man, like, it ain't, you might want it to be a certain kind of way, but it don't fucking matter. It's how the Lord gonna have it set up. And the thing is, our most powerful spiritual superpower is we know how this shit ends. You know, like that movie with Nicolas Cage, The Knowing. Like, we know what the fuck gonna happen. You hoping to change your fate. You hoping that we wrong. You hoping, what's that, Wisdom of Solomon? What's that, chapter 2? You don't want to really believe, but at the same time, in the back of your mind, you're like, damn, what if? They not sleeping well. Why, Jake in the proper spirit, we eating popcorn and chuckling and cheesing like a motherfucker. People look at us like we crazy, but at the same time, like I had to tell my sister, she believe in the scriptures. She don't subscribe to the name exactly, but that's her battle, and I constantly say it like that, But she, I was trying to explain to her, I'm like, she want to say, oh, in Jesus' blood, I plead the blood. Like, no, fuck all that, you know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, when you really understand the scriptures, these things must come to pass for us to get. Why is it that Christian always want to talk about they want to see the maker, they want to see the Lord and the Savior and all that, but then they don't want the things that got to take place in order for you to see him? You full of shit. Verse 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High. And we already know this man exalteth himself, Noah, Hugh Harari. We don't need the Most High God of the Bible. Ezekiel chapter 28. He said, exalting himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. I was listening to the elder. He was talking about like when you go into like to just pretty much, you people don't really know shit anymore. You just go and ask Siri, and I never fuck with that Siri or Alexis or none of that shit. I haven't used the chat GPT, and I've heard different things about it. At the end of the day, the technology is to be utilized, because it's a left hand and right hand side to it. But I've never been in the spirit to use it. You know what I mean? Like, I heard a brother say, yeah, you can learn this and learn that and all that, but, I just ain't been in the spirit of fucking with it, because at the end of the day, it is something spiritual going on with it. You know what I mean? I just hear the elder speak on that. You know what I mean? Like I forgot where I heard that. I heard that years ago about like pretty much, like you got to think about it as, a demon is a disembodied spirit, right? So therefore, like you ever, it's a movie called the fuck is it's like an anime. I can't think of it. But pretty much it's two brothers, Full Metal Alchemists. It's two brothers, and one brother basically was doing sorcery, and he did something and pretty much disembodied his little brother's soul from his body. So what he did was put his body, or his Salaki, he put his spirit inside of this suit of armor. Because he was an alchemist, he was a sorcerer. So it ain't far-fetched. You know what I mean? Think about when you go into like the Jewish fable. I forgot what it was, like a fable of the Amalekites, but he's talking about like the golem. The golem pretty much was a spirit put into rock. They show that, I think, in I know it was in a video game called Dragon Age. I can't think of no movies right now where they had the golem, but pretty much it was a disembodied spirit put into stone. So ultimately, like, it ain't really far-fetched that the demons might be able to inhabit it. Like, I mean, anything with the Lord is possible. And then you got Elon Musk, such a demon. He up there talking about we're summoning the demon, and these things can do all this and do all that. But then every time he speaks on it, he got a little weird ass smile on his face. So if you so worried about this shit, why would you do this? That's how you know how desperate this motherfucker is. Verse 5. No, I'm gonna skip. Verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua shall consume with his mouth. So like shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, which are the prophets. And that's why day and night we are always doing lessons, or chatting this place down, or exposing this devil for who he is. And that's why it's so important to do the lessons, to do the work. Because you got to think about it. It's a spiritual energy behind that. Think about that. The things that we're saying are actually manifesting before your eyes. So that's why it's so important to do the lessons. I used to think and sit up there and worry about, not really worry, but like, damn, it's so deep, because like not the last time, but the time before that, I went out on the highways and hedges, and it looked like a chariot. I'm thinking it's a chariot, and they let me talk for like the first 2 minutes and then cut my sound for the whole video. And I was so mad, because I'm like, man, I ain't got too many people watching me. But you know what? You don't know how that's spiritually doing anything. Like I was thinking about it. They so fuck with me so much. I know for a fact I used to get comments. I got my comments open up. Yet and still, I can't get any comments. They got it where it looked like I can get comments. But then it say my comments is turned off. So whoever the fuck watching mine is just really like a real demon. Like, and that's cool though, because the thing is the Lord see all that shit too. You just heaping hot coals of fire on your head, goofy. Verse, it says, will consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Verse 9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, his technology. And we living in the day and age, they about to, they probably already got the infrastructure. I hear a lot of brothers bringing that out, and I can believe it too. You got to think about it. They was doing a lot while we was locked down, and that was years ago. So you really don't think the infrastructure in place? This thing is going to be overnight, and that's why, I remember at one point in time last year, you had a lot of individuals. I remember it was a sister. She had a dream. She said she went in the house, and then the next thing, pretty much the next time they allowed them to come out, everything was changed over. And been a sentiment and a dream that a lot of Israelites was having. Just like the elder said, like pretty much he woke up and everything you couldn't do nothing without it was just completely implemented throughout society. Come on, you gotta think about it, how often they've been trying to go cashless. And then, certain bills get passed or they put certain bills in play. Because I know Ohio just did it. Where they talk about, oh, no, you can't go, you got to still accept cash. So that's the Lord but ultimately, it's the will of the Lord to bring this to fruition. So ultimately, at the end of the day, we know at some point, it's going to go down. It's at some point, they're going to get rid of, the paper money and implement. And you see that with the DJ Trump with the whole pennies and nickels. How are you going to just eliminate some money when certain products, that's just going to affect everybody in the economy? Think about it. You might have something that costs $2.97 after taxes. Like, eliminating a penny, how are you going to pay for that? But these people so fucking stupid, they don't question nothing. They just blindly follow. Don't get me wrong. When it's righteous, yeah, but, you supposed to, and the scriptures go into that, being fully persuaded. Verse 9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Verse 10, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish because they receive not the love of the truth that they might be saved. You got a lot of people that trust in DJ Trump and now they butt hurt. You have military. You have military that voted him in believing he was going to do this and do that. And now they're saying, hold up, you dismantling the government. I mean, even if you don't really understand geopolitics or politics, period, you should question, like, well, hold up. Because think about it. Again, I've been saying this as of lately. The biggest contractor is the U.S. government. You have people that work for the government that literally don't work for the government, but do work for the government. Well, they getting rid of whole departments. So if the most secure job at one point was, a government job. Now, pretty much, if the government ain't hiring and laying off and freezing, hiring, what you think that private industry doing? That pretty much run the government. Like I heard the elder mention that. He was talking about, you got these lobbyists. And that's why you got Elon Musk really looking like the president. Come on. That and I don't know if that was purposely done, but I could see the spirit just revealing that. And his son got to be a little demon. His son said, there, shut up, you're not the president. And he had to eat that. It make me laugh because the Lord are actually like, humble a proud motherfucker for real. Like he just humbled DJ Trump and he humbled 50 Cent. Like I said, I found it hilarious when his son did that video. And I was like, yeah, this nigga is his son. Because they both like they the type that kick you when you down type shit. He was like, who told you was special? That shit was funny. Because, again, with the big meat situation, which that shit don't matter. That's nothing. But at the same time, it's like with the Floyd Mayweather situation. Two kings cannot really that's like, nah, it ain't going to work like that. Like two kings, ain't going to, somebody got to bow. Just like a brother told me, he said pretty much it's the person that gives a fuck or cares least that controls the relationship. Which is truth to that. Makes sense. But ultimately, you got to have the mindset, fuck the relationship. Because, and the thing is, like I said, we ain't even been tested yet. We got tests all the way up until we get on the chariots. You got to think about it. So you got brothers that think that they just got them A1 women that, she a bite a brick and, oh yeah, she the, I remember a nigga telling me some shit about, pretty much she'll hold the table up. I can sit, what I mean? All these different analogies because, Jake talk they shit, but man, you ain't seen that. Like I used to have this mindset like that too. It is, the Lord, that's Satan the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like Satan, that's why I said what I said, Satan coming with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know this ain't the kingdom. That's why I'm really selective on how certain do shit. I chose to sit up there, but the elder made a statement, you be better off just going being celibate. Like for real, like, we, like this shit is so fucked up. And Satan is really throwing everything, including the kitchen sink. I got shit going on with family, shit going on with me. health-wise, all kind of shit. I said, damn, the Lord really putting in work. 2 Thessalonians 2:10, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. So they would rather trust in DJ Trump and Egypt than trust in, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and that's why they're going to be destroyed. The scriptures talk about giving them over to strong delusion in the book of Romans, as well as in this, that you should believe a lie. Verse 11, and for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. Like they thinking that America going to be made great again. You got people that's still waiting on a fourth stimulus because DJ Trump in office and because he's a millionaire or he's a businessman. Not realizing that he's actually dismantling and everything, bringing forth, the agenda of the elites. This guy gotta be it ain't even no gotta be. Like, I've read enough articles and done enough videos. Like, this guy's all crypto. They talking about he the most pro-crypto president in history. But I thought he wasn't with Bitcoin and all this different shit. He already done did the whole scam shit with the meme crypto coin. And then I just did a video about that. I did a video or pretty much him actually coming out with the coin. Then come to find out, like, it ain't even been a month. They talking about pretty much investors lost like $2 billion already. And they invested like 500 billion. So, again, like I say, if you can't see it, the Lord got you blinded. Verse 12, the point, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in but had pleasure in unrighteousness. And, a lot of people love Babylon the Great. So they're going to be destroyed with it, 2/3 of our nation's not going to repent. It's crazy. I was working with this Northern Kingdom dude. He was working at the job. He ended up getting laid off, and then they just brought him back. He brought his cousin. Spirit kept on telling me to go ahead and tell him the truth. So when it's Northern Kingdom brothers, I send them the videos of the GMS Spanish. Some kept on sending them the truth, but I already knew he was going to reject it. Mind you, I sent it to him, I think, Thursday. He don't say nothing about it, but I know he probably, made it known because we was talking about what DJ Trump doing. I ended up seeing him yesterday because I got to do community service. So he was at community service, I was at community service. Tell me why I'll see you at work tomorrow. Tell me why he ain't come to work. So you don't know what the Lord did to jack him up. And then I'm asking my manager, like, well, did he call off or whatever? And he like, I reached out to the temp agency. So, like the Lord, man, hey, and if you gonna reject it, I want you to be marked. I might not never get no fruit, but I might have marked a lot of motherfuckers. Because at the end of the day, you deserve to get judged. You love this place. Fuck you. I think Jake looked at me that not really understanding what's all going on. I didn't tell everybody, oh, he did this and that. No, I just kept it quiet. But, I think Jake was looking at me, oh, he had 2/3, so fuck you. It ain't the whole, you still a brother. Fuck you, nigga. Lord willing, we all see each other on the chairs because at the end of the day, we all believe. But for these people that don't, that pretty much, what's that in 2nd Ezra chapter 9? That pretty much, I'm butchering it. And I'm going to end it. 2nd Ezra chapter 9. This is 2nd Ezra 9 and verse 10. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. Verse 11. And they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. The same must know it after death by pain. 2/3 of the nation, the Lord has been taking care of us the whole time. I remember the elder brother was talking about from NC. He was talking about he knew somebody that's talking about they get $40,000 a year. I'm like, damn, what kind of loophole moves she knows somebody on DJ Trump level. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you ain't able to get that much motherfucking money back on time. Even if you claim it, you only could claim so many dependents for the earned income tax credit. So, it's loopholes, but like, for real? Like, that's a whole year worth of working. And you talking about this motherfucker that ain't got no job? Like, it's all kind of ways to look. Man, just like I came across an article, they was talking about how Elon Musk talking about all this corruption going on with the Social Security and people receiving benefits, and that's 104 years old, so that's probably some scam shit. But then it's an article talking about pretty much it's only like 1% of some bullshit going on. But at the end of the day, like I said, if you really think, like, this man is the scriptures talk about the servant, the lender, the borrower being servant to the lender. So those that got this man got a bank, the Bank of X. Again, like say, they making him really like the face of it. I remember when the elder brought out about the SpaceX with the what the fuck is they called them satellites though? And I was like, damn, and then it all start clicking like, oh yeah, they could use them satellites for the high speed, transactions. So when they implement the system, all this shit is systematic. When you understand it's all the will of the Lord, so everything, like I said, so I'm rambling now, so Salakia, but yeah. So, and eventually he gonna do something to the point, like I said, like the elder talk about, this man is a madman. But, scriptures talk about like madman sparing none though. He good for prophecy, so I'm all for him. The elder's talking about months. It could be very well this year. But I do know this too. We got to suffer. A young brother told me that. And I was like, damn. And that's the phone, because the phone literally just chimed in. So, yeah, we got to suffer a little bit. And we ain't really suffering yet. Everybody still maintaining. Yeah, everybody uncomfortable. Everybody feels some kind of way. Yeah, you might not get to do this and do that because you got to pay your bills or the food high. But I'm talking about when you got to miss the meals. You know what I mean? Like when you literally like when we start getting laid off and it ain't no unemployment. Think about shit like that. Like that's how I'm going with it. They cutting the agency, so what you gonna say when you get laid off or fired? Come on, they was talking about with the agencies he's laying off, he gave them a severance package, but some people didn't even get that opportunity. They just got fired. How do that even work? Because if you ain't been disciplined, or you just get fired because you just started, but you've been there for 2 years, or you the lowest man on the totem pole, and they eliminated your department. How do that even work? Do you go to unemployment? Like, do you get they offered, like, I forget how many people severance packages where they gonna get paid up until September or something. But a lot of people got fired and didn't get nothing. So this is that cruel Lord. So I wouldn't be surprised if he could get that 14th Amendment shit off. You know what I mean? Because, like I said again, the Lord is allowing this devil to do these things. Damn, I did not know I was running my mouth that long. Salakia. So with that, I'm going to end the lesson. Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Allah Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kodash, double honors to the elders and to the apostles that taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwat that they're listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time, Lord willingly, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasharallah, Mawaf Lababal.